Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. So in today's session we'll discuss about the insertion operation in double linked list. So in the previous session we have seen how to create the double linked list and how we will display all the nodes of double linked list. Now in this session we'll see the insertion operation. Double linked list. Right, so first let us consider some elements, then we'll apply the insertion operation. So how we can insert the element or a node at the beginning or at the end or in the specific position, right? So first let us take 4 nodes and then we'll see. So name itself indicates every node will be having 2 references. One is to the previous node and another is to with the next node. So in the previous session we have already seen how to create the node, right? So we have taken some 3 variables in the node class, right? So this is n1, n2, n3 and n4. Let it be 10, 20, 30 and 40. The address is some 1000, some 2000 and the 3000 and the 4000. Now this is none because this is the first element, there is a no previous. This is none and it stores the address of next one, 2000, and this is 1000, 3000 and again 2000 and 4000 and here 3000 and none because this is the last element, right? So there will be 2 links. Right, now so let us assume these are the 4 elements now. So we need to insert the element first at the beginning. Insert at beginning. So if you insert the element at the beginning, so this will be the head, right? Head. This will be the head. Now if you insert the node at the beginning, what we have to do? So in order to insert the node, the n is equal to some node of 5. So if you give this one, automatically one node will be created here with 5 and this is a none and this is a none. Okay, so initially none and 5. Now we need to link these two. So if you insert this node in the first one, we need to change the head. We need to change the head. So before changing the head, we need to make the link between the first node and the second node. So this becomes the second node, right? Now see, let us take some temporary variable and initialize the head to temporary variable. So the head will not be changed. Now see, then after executing this one, this becomes the temp. This becomes temp. Now temp dot previous. Temp dot previous. So what is the value of temp dot previous? That means this position. This position must be this one, right? This position must be this one. So sorry, yeah, n. So automatically let it be some 500. Okay, 500. So here none will be replaced with 500. Automatically a link will be established from n1 and that means our present head to new node. Now we need to change this one. So because we have to produce a link between first node and second node also. Now n dot next will be temporary. So automatically this none value will be replaced with 1000, right? So link will be generated. Now we need to change the head value. So head position should be changed to here. Head position should be changed to here. So self dot head is equal to this value. That means n, because n is a node, right? Hope you understood. Only few steps. So first we are creating one node and we need to insert that node at the starting position. So after inserting the node, this will becomes like this with 2 references as none. So we need to establish a link between the first node, the previous first node and the current node. So for that purpose we are using these two steps, and after that we are just changing the head position to the current node, right? So hope you understood this one. Insert at beginning, right? Now, so I will demonstrate this by executing a program, don't worry. The next one is insert at end. At the end we need to insert it, right? So let us take some n is equal to a node of, so it's 40, so I will take 50. So I need to insert some 50 element at the end. So after executing this statement, automatically a node will be created with 50 with both the none values, both reference as none. So we need to link up with the last element with the present last element with the new node, because new node will be the last element now, right? For that purpose we need to travel from first element to the last element. So in order to travel, just I am taking some temporary variable and I am initializing the head value to the temporary variable, and I am just traveling from first element to the last element. So while temp.next means, see, so after insertion the head, so this is the head row, right? And also temp. Now temp.next is not none. So unless the temp.next is none, it will repeat the loop. So what we have to do, we have to change the temp is equal to temp.next. See, temp.next is not none, true. So automatically temp will be temp.next. So temp value will be at 1000 now. Now again temp.next is not none, right? Again temp will be moved to here. Again temp is equal to temp.next. So temp.next is not none. Again change temp to temp.next. So 3000. So here it will be. So like this it will travel from first element to last element. Now the temporary variable is at here, right? And this is nothing but n. So new node. Now what we have to do? We need to change this one. We need to establish a link between the temporary variable, present temp value to the new node. For that purpose, go with the temp.next. Temp.next is equal to, here we need to give the address of n. So let it be some 5000, right? So temp.next is equal to n. So automatically none will be replaced with 5000. So automatically a link is established here. Again, the new node previous should also be changed, because for every node we have to link with the previous node and the next node. So obviously n is the last element, so n.next will be none and n.previous will be the address of previous one. So for that purpose n.previous is equal to, so replace this with this value temp. So that means 4000, right? 4000. So this is how we can insert the element at the end, right? So first we are traveling from first element to last element, and then we are establishing the link between the temp and the new node, right? For every node there must be a reference to the previous node and the next node. So if you draw this diagram, these lines will be very easy to write, okay? Unless you draw the diagram, so it is somewhat difficult to write the nodes, right? So you have to imagine. If you draw this diagram or if you draw these nodes, it would be very simple to write these steps, right? Hope you understood this insertion at beginning and insertion at ending. Now we'll go with the third case, that is insertion at specific position. We need to insert the element at specific position, right? Now, so I need to insert the position at 1, 2, 3, 4, and data will be fourth position, that is a 25. I need to add a 25, right? Position 4 and 25. I will write here. Position is equal to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and data is equal to 25. So automatically first we need to, so I will write the heading, okay? Insert at position. Now take the data, node of, let it be some 4, let it be some 4. So just we need to change the temporary variable. Okay, sorry, we need to travel from first node to just position -1. That means 3, up to 3 it should be traveled. So now what we have to do? So take the temporary variable and assign the head position. So automatically now this is the temp. Now what we have to do? We have to travel. So for I in range 1 to position -1, 1 to position -1. So automatically change the temporary variable. Temp is equal to temp dot next. So I ranges from 1 to position -1 means 3. That means I is equal to 1, I is equal to 2. Right? So after first iteration, the temp becomes here. Right? Because first iteration temp is equal to temp dot next. Temp is equal to temp dot next means 1000. So it points to the 1000. So here the temp will be at 1000. Now here again, where I is equal to 2 within the range. So automatically the temp is equal to temp dot next. Temp is equal to temp dot next means 2000. So here the temp will be pointing. So now the temp will be at 2000. And I is equal to 3. It doesn't happen because the range of 1, 3 means it will iterate up to 1 and 2. So now the temp value is here. Now the temp value is here. And a node is created here. A node has been created here with a 25. And this is a none and this is a none. So we need to link these two. We need to link these two. Right? So now n dot previous is equal to n dot previous means this one. So this is the previous and this is the next. Right? So n dot previous is equal to what we have to get here, this value. Okay, this value, temporary. Okay, because we are inserting this element here. So we are just removing this link and we are inserting the link here. Right? So here n dot previous, this is the n value, n dot previous must be this one, 2000. Right? What about n dot next? This one, 3000. 3000 means temp dot next. Temp dot next. So automatically we'll get 3000. So is this sufficient? No, because again this temp value is pointing at 3000. So we need to change this and also this one. Right? So we need to change this one. We need to change this one. So how to get this position? How to get this position? Simply temp dot next. Temp dot next means 3000. Okay, this field dot previous, automatically this one. And what is the address here? It should be new node, that is let it be 2500. So this 2500 should be here, that means n. Okay, so I hope you understood this one, because we need to link here and this to here. So automatically n address should be placed at previous node, right? So to get this one, temp dot next, that means 3000 dot previous, this position. So we are changing to n. And what about this one? This should be changed. 3000 should be changed to address of this one, 2500, right? That means temp dot next is equal to 2500 means again n. So this is the code we need to write in order to insert the value at particular position, right? So this is very easy. If you draw this example, if you draw some nodes, it would be very easy to write the content. Okay, so first we need to insert the node. We have created one node, so then we have traveled from first element to the position -1, so that we need to establish a link between the position -1 to new node and new node to next node. So for that purpose we are taking some n dot previous and n dot next. So n dot previous, it should be the temporary, and n dot next should be the temp dot next. So because initially the temp dot next is here itself, right? So then we need to change the positions of temp dot next and the next node dot previous. So for that purpose I am taking temp dot next dot previous is equal to n, so that it will be changed, and temp dot next equal to n, this will be changed. So if you write this statement in the first line, automatically again the code will be different. We need not write this one, so this statement will be wrong. So just you need to follow the order. So what we have to do first and what we have to do next, so that should be important, right? So hope you understood this one. So this is how we can insert the node at end, beginning and specific position, right? So now I will execute a program demonstrating all these three functions: inserting a node, how to insert a node at the end, beginning, ending and specific position, right? So let's move on to the system. Hello friends, so just now we have seen how can we insert the nodes into a double linked list. So in the previous session we have covered how to create the double linked list and how can we display the nodes of double linked list. So now in this session we will see the demonstration of insertion method. So in order to reduce the time, I just copy the code. So in the previous session we have written some code for creation and display. I will copy the same code here and directly we'll move with the insertion, right? See, this is the code which we have written in the previous session. So we have inserted some 5 nodes. So if you execute this one, we'll get some 5 nodes: 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So as the name itself indicates, it's a double linked list. So every node will be pointing to the previous node and the next node. So every node will be having the reference to the previous node and the next node. So now we'll write the insertion. So first we'll see the insertion at the beginning, right? So insertion at the beginning. So I'll write the method define insert underscore beginning, right? So we need to pass the data here. So after that create a node. So n is equal to some node of data. So now the node will be created with both the references none. That means here if after executing this one, n dot data will be data, n dot previous will be none, n dot next will be none. Now we have to link up. So we are inserting this node at the beginning itself. That means we need to change the self dot head. So initially the first element will be having pointing to the self dot head. So now the self dot head should be changed to this new node because this node is inserting at the beginning. For that, just we'll take a temporary variable and we'll assign the self dot head. And then next we need to give the links. So temp dot previous. So temp is nothing but our second node. After inserting the first node, this new node, the temp will be pointing towards the second node because temp is equal to self dot head. So temp dot previous. So what about the reference to the second node? It must be a first node. Now first node is n, right? And similarly n dot next. So current node dot next should be temp, right? And change the self dot head. Change the self dot head to n. So simple steps. It's a simple steps. So we are just creating a node. So with the 2 references with none. So the second node, if you insert this as a first node, the second node must be, current head must be pointing towards the second node. So we need to change the head. So that's why we are giving some temp value for the head position. So temp dot previous must be the first node, that is n, and n dot next should be the second element, that is the temp, and self dot head is equal to none. So we'll create the node, right? So after that l dot insert underscore beginning of let it be some 5 execute. So you can observe here 5 is appended here, right? So again, if you execute the same method once again with a new data, let it be 7, execute. So 7 will be inserted at the beginning, right? If you execute 5, 7, 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So this is how we can insert at the beginning. Now what about the ending? So how to insert the element or a node at the ending? So write down the function, so self comma data. So we need to create the node. So here also I will go with a n dot node of data. So last, so we need to travel from first element to last element. For that I am taking the temporary variable and I am just assigning the self dot head to temp, and I am just giving the loop to travel from first node to the last node. So while temp dot next is not none, so automatically after executing this one, so we need keep on changing the temp, right? Temp dot next, after executing this loop, so whenever the loop comes, I mean the control comes out from the loop, the temp will be pointing towards the last element. Now we need to change the last element next to new node, because the last element next will be pointing towards none, because that is the last element. Now here we are inserting a new node at the end. So that means the temp dot next, so whenever it comes out from the loop, it is the last element, so temp dot next will be pointing towards n, and automatically n dot previous must be temp, n dot previous must be temp. So we are moving from first element to the last element and we are changing the references. Now we'll see. I will give some comment here, and let us take L dot insert underscore end 60. Now after executing that, we need to get a 60 as the last element. See here 60 is the last element. So before applying this line, the output will be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and here whenever you are inserting some element at the end, automatically the next element will be pointing at 60, right? And again if you insert one more element, that will also be pointing at last, that means that will be added at end element, right? 70. So you can observe 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 and 70, right? So hope you understood this one, beginning and end. So very simple methods. Next means if you want to insert the element at particular position, what we need to do? So we need to pass the position and the data. Position and data. So create a new node. So that node should be inserted at the given position. So in the position, first we need to travel from first element to the position value, position but 1. So for that we'll assign some head value to temp, self dot head, right? Now we need to go from first element to the position. So for that, for I in range of 1 comma position minus 1, and keep on change the temporary variable. So up to the position minus 1 it will be pointing. Now just change the previous, n dot previous is equal to temporary, and similarly n dot next is equal to temp dot next, and then temp dot next dot previous. So before changing the temp value, we need to assign the temp dot next dot previous element to the n, because we are inserting the new node in between the different nodes, right? So that's why just go with this one, and next temp dot next is equal to n. Now you can observe here. So let us put the comment here for these two lines. So L dot insert underscore position, let it be 3 comma 25, and if you execute this one, you can observe 10, 20, 25. So at the third position we are getting some 25, the value 25, right? So at the third position we are getting the value 25. Hope you understood this one, right? So in order to change the, in order to insert the element at required position, we need to change the head. That means we are assigning some head value to the temporary variable, and we are just keep on moving the temporary variable to the position -1, and there we need to give the reference for previous and next, and then we have to change the value of temporary, right? So hope you understood this one. And again, one more method we'll call, I will show you. Insert position, let us take fifth position. So 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth position with a 35. Execute this one, so you'll get fifth position, the 35 will be inserted. So 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 and 50, right? So hope you understood these three functions: insert at the beginning, insert at end, insert at the specific position, right? So let's stop here. In the next session we'll go with the deletion operation. So if you are having any doubts regarding this insertion, either at the beginning, ending or a specific position, so feel free to post your doubts in the comment section. Definitely I will try to clarify all your doubts. And if you really understood my session, like my session, share my session with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Thank you.